Welcome back, everyone. This is Austin Revel here at 2F Tactical. Going to bring you an update on the assault weapons ban that's coming out of New Mexico, which is unbelievably insane and extremely dangerous, I might add. But first, please comment, like, and subscribe on our videos. Also, make sure you do check us out on Rumble because we do post simultaneously our videos on both platforms because we've had issues with YouTube and strikes and not even understanding what the strikes are for. If you're a gun content creator or you're someone who likes to follow gun content creators, we all know they all get strikes. There's Google owns the world, and unfortunately they don't like what we do. So please go over there on Rumble and follow us as well. It's all 2F Tactical. We just try to bring you news, all the latest things coming out of the firearm world, and we love our From the Vault series about historical firearms. We got some really cool ones coming up as we get back into that. So I do want to say I'm sorry for the prolonged absence from YouTube, but we are coming fast and furious now that we're back. And we're going to keep pumping out content for you. If you would like to support the channel, please make sure you go over to our Patreon. It's very affordable. We built it. It's just a little bit. The idea is this is if you want to. This isn't. Our goal is to make our content free. I would like to keep the content free. If you could hit that subscribe button, that's a free way to support the channel. Tells you you like what you see and you want more of it. I'd like to hit 25,000 subscribers by June. Let's try to hit that 25,000 subscribers by June. Let's really blow this up and show YouTube that this is what we want to have. Now, diving into Senate Bill 17, which is down in New Mexico. And I'm going to bring out the device because, well, this is interesting. What they have titled this bill as is the Stop Illegal Gun Trade Act. Now, when you hear Stop Illegal Gun Trade, pretty much all of us don't want, I think, if there's anyone out there that wants an illegal gun trade, I don't mean a illegal gun trade in the sense that constitutionally protected items are being infringed upon. I'm talking about selling guns to known criminals, to cartels, or whatever. None of us want that. We just want to be law-abiding citizens to have our Second Amendment protected rights to stop tyranny where it may arise and protect oneself and their family. That's what we want. Gun owners, largely speaking, just want to be left alone. We really just don't want to be bothered about anything. We're a heavily armed populace here in the United States, but we're predominantly peaceful when you think about the amount of guns, over 500 million in a country with 336 million people. So there's more guns than people. And if firearm ownership equaled death, I literally couldn't make this video for you because we'd all be dead if that rubric actually worked the way that they claim. So with that title, you're like, oh yeah, I can get on board with that, except for what it actually does. It bans all 50 caliber ammunition and weapons. So no 50 BMG for you. It bans machine guns, which are already heavily regulated on the National Firearms Act, and they start at about $10,000. That's, just what you can get legally speaking. And we should add that there was a ban of those in 1986 that doesn't allow new ones to be entered on the registry, which means there's only so many of them. So not only is it financially prohibitive, and it's heavily regulated, there's a limited number of them to go around. There's only about 760,000 of those. So it bans those machine guns because, there's a ton of legal machine guns causing crime. And then it bans all gas-operated semi-automatics. With the exception of handguns, they do technically exempt handguns. But everything you see here that's semi-automatic is banned because they're all gas operated. Doesn't matter if it's blowback, gas causes the blowback. Doesn't matter if it's piston, it's specifically missing short piston and any other piston-driven system, anything with a gas tube and blowback. So no semi-automatic firearms for you. Of course, it also caps the rounds that you can have in a magazine at 10 because, like Virginia, that 11th round is really what puts you over the edge and causes you to commit crimes at an unknown pace, which, if we knew the amount of magazines owned in the United States, is obviously not true because most of us have hundreds of more than 10-round magazines in our possession and haven't done anything with them. That's what this bill purports to do. This bill is different, and I think is the new way forward when it comes to quote-unquote assault weapon bans. So Virginia put in the cosmetic feature. It's kind of the California model. It's the model from the 1980s and early 90s that we saw with the assault weapons ban in 94. The feature test, you know, if you have more than one, you're now an assault weapon, right? That's what they put forward. The new way forward, I think, is going to be on operating system. And unfortunately, the other side, when it comes to anti-gun people, have learned. They have heard us when we say cosmetics don't do anything to change the firearm. And they go, okay, we hear you. So now we're going to ban the actual operating system itself. Now, the semi-automatic operating system has been around for 130 years at this point. The late 1800s. In fact, I did a video on one of the first successful, and I guess successful is a strong word, but relatively successful semi-automatic guns ever produced and sold, which was the Winchester in 1905. It wasn't the first semi-auto, it was one of the first successful ones. That was actually like one of my very first videos on the From the Vault series. You should go check that out. And you know, it turns out that it was a good system that's being used today all over the world and in every state. And it's reliable. It gives people more options, and it gives you an equal playing field when it comes to your self-defense. And that's the ultimate goal, is we should have an equal playing field. There's a saying that God made man and Samuel Colt made them all equal. He made them equal because the Colt Single Action Army, which was in everyone's hands in theory, allowed everyone to have the opportunity to win a fight or defend oneself, regardless of size, sex, gender, race, creed, doesn't matter. We all are equal. Now, when it comes to the Bill of Rights, you and I are all equal. We all get the same Second Amendment right that every other American gets, because it's given to us by our Creator, not by man. Therefore, it cannot be infringed on by man. So that means I should have the same rights as someone in California, Hawaii, and of course New Mexico or Virginia. And we're kind of seeing this kind of just ramrodding gun control bills through take shape across the nation. And we mentioned Virginia. There's obviously already some of these in place in California, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. We saw Washington State a few years do it. A few years ago, I should say, do it. Illinois, of course, has done this for a while now. The PICA law that went into effect in 2023, I believe Hawaii's done this for a long time. There's about 9 states, including the District of Columbia. Now they're trying to make it 11 states. They're trying to grow the numbers of states that are banning certain types of firearms. And if you live in a purple state or a bluish state or a blue state, you will see this come if you haven't already. And that's why I think this law should be talked about. The fact that they're going after the operating systems, not the cosmetic features, in the category of firearms that it excludes from you and me owning is a very dangerous tact and a huge infringement on the Second Amendment. And if we allow this to gain traction, we are in trouble. And if you're in a state like we are here in Minnesota, where we have our leaders, presumed front runner Amy Klobuchar as our governor has echoed assault weapons bans before. Who's to say she wouldn't adopt this style? But she would adopt any style. Let's be real. It doesn't matter what style of assault weapon ban it is. She would adopt it. We must stand up for our rights. And that does mean that you should go support those who support you. And I'm going to give you the list that I always give you. It's Firearm Policy Coalition, National Association for Gun Rights, Gun Owners of America, Second Amendment Foundation. Here in Minnesota, it's the Minnesota Gun Owners Caucus. If you're in New Mexico, find your local pro-gun caucus and support them, the ones that fight for your rights. And whatever state you are, in all 50 states, find your local organization that fights for your rights and support them. Pretty much every state has one. And we need to go support them because they're the ones fighting for us. But that doesn't mean that we don't have a job to do too. And our jobs are pretty easy, really. First and foremost, exercise your right. It's hard for someone to take a right if you exercise it and you use it. If you're not using it, you can kind of go, oh, I wasn't using it anyway, when they take it away. And then when you need it, it's a lot harder to get it back. Exercise your right every single day. Encourage those around you to exercise their rights every single day. If you know someone that might be anti-gun, try to bring them in kindly to our world. Bring them to the shooting range. Let them have fun. Show them what these things can do and the kind of fun that you can have with them and the responsibility that comes with it. If you have kids, teach them the proper ways of handling and maintaining their firearms and their proper usage and historical meaning and context. And what do I mean by that part? I mean, what is the Second Amendment actually about? It's not about private defense as much as we use that, and it certainly does cover that. When I say private defense, I'm talking about bank robbers, I'm talking about muggings, carjackings, those types of things. The things that other individuals commit to us. It's actually about defense against tyranny, a tyrannical government. That's what James Madison and everybody was worried about. And that's what Thomas Jefferson and every other founding fathers mentioned multiple times. They had just fought a tyrannical government in the British. They were acutely aware of what they needed in order to prevent that from happening. They were also wise beyond their years, knowing that the function of government is to accumulate power. While yes, they built in checks and balances to our Constitution with 3 branches of government, judicial, executive, and legislative, as well as the voting system with electoral college and all those other things. Those are all checks and balances. That is true. But that doesn't mean that they weren't aware that those things could too be corrupted. Therefore, they gave you and me, the American citizens, the ability to defend ourselves and to keep that tyranny from creeping into our lives. For far too long, we have allowed government to infringe upon these rights. And that's not just the Second Amendment. We're talking First Amendment. We're talking unlawful searches and seizures. And I didn't even mention this in the other video. Let's just take Virginia, for instance. Part of their magazine ban in Virginia allows them to go, there's no grandfather clause. They'll just go get them. That's, Fourth Amendment, search and seizures issues. We have seen the erosion of our constitutional rights over the years, and it's time for us to put our flag in the ground and say no more. That's why you should be calling your congressmen and congresswomen and writing them regularly. If all gun owners in the United States, which is tens of millions, reached out constantly to our elected officials, they would be very nervous and they would probably do what we say more often than not. If every hunter voted, we would see very different rules. And the reason why is we have so many people who stay home and they don't try to fight for our rights. And we've seen what happens when we don't. That time is no longer. We actually are going to have to fight to take back ground. So if you're watching this video in New Mexico, please like, comment, subscribe. We definitely appreciate your viewership. Please reach out to your local officials, whether it's Governor Gresham, who has been very anti-gun and very poor on the Second Amendment in her time there, or it's your local House or senator, go reach out to them. Also reach out to your federal House and Senate people, because keep the pressure on them, because a lot of people want to bring the things that we're going through on state levels here to the national stage. Got to keep that pressure on. When it comes to us here in Minnesota, again, supporting those who support us, like the Minnesota Gun Owners Caucus, and again, same rules apply. Contact your local representatives, contact your federal representatives. Keep the pressure on. Say, we see what you're doing. No, we have the right. We get to keep the right. That is our birthright as American citizens. I do hope you enjoyed this video. We have lots more to come. We have our From the Vault series with some very exciting things coming up. And if you want more, like more 2FYC, check out our news section on our website. Now, we can't link our website because we're a gun shop, but you can check out our website through Facebook, for instance, and check out our news section. We write articles on all the guns that we've seen at SHOT Show or reviews, the historical guns that we've covered on our videos. We've written articles on the legislation that we're seeing trying to be passed, both on the state side and federally. The responses to the Second Amendment, whether it be the Trump administration's response to, say, protesters carrying firearms, and so much more. We have a great team of writers. We're super excited to bring on a few others here soon and bring you more content. It's literally coming out every single day. Again, thank you again. Please let us know if you like this video and what more you'd like us to cover. If there's something in the state, a law in the state that I'm not familiar with, or you haven't seen, anywhere, in the 50 states, please shoot a comment down below or email us at this email here. We will definitely cover the video. And if you have something cool, something old, something unusual, something you would like featured on our From the Vault series, again, shoot us a message, shoot us a comment. We'd love to cover that specific firearm or topic. But till next time, we'll see you then.